Hi, I want to talk to you today about hurricane preparedness and a few things that you might find quite surprising. Hi, I'm Denise Fox with Remax, and if you come from the north, you're used to preparing for snowstorms. When you prepare for a hurricane, there's quite a few different little nuances. I had Googled it before Ian hit in how to be prepared, and after having actually gone through the storm, there were a number of things that I still was absolutely not prepared for. So I want this video to give you all of the tips that you're going to need to know. And this is from my own firsthand experience from having been in a Cat 5 hurricane for over 10 hours. It was quite an ordeal. It was the real deal. Here's where you start. Number one, you need to be prepared with lots of water, because you'll lose power, you'll lose water. That's the main thing, is to make sure you have an ample supply of water on hand. That means a couple weeks worth of water. Get jugs, bottles of water, cases of bottles of water. You're also going to fill your bathtubs, especially if you have pets. You want to be sure that, you've got clean bathtub water that you can fill their water bowls with. I have 2 Goldens. There's a lot to think about as far as that goes. So make sure you've got water on hand. Your grill. Here you go. Let me tell you what a lifesaver this little gem is. When you don't have power in your house, you can't cook. You can't boil water. You can't cook eggs for breakfast. None of that stuff. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you've got this. The side pan, my husband thought that was just like a worthless thing he's never going to use. He used it like crazy when we were doing 100% of our cooking on the grill. So make sure, more importantly than that, that you have got an extra propane tank. Make sure the one you have is like full, and make sure you have one on deck so you don't run out. If you've got a pool, it's a lifesaver for flushing toilets, but you need a bucket. Make sure that you've got a bucket that you can dedicate to scooping water from the pool and be able to take in to flush your toilets in your house with. We did that for like 8 days. Here's a power tip that wasn't in any of my Google searches. Remember that you don't have water. Not only do you not have power, but you don't have water. So we were completely unprepared with what to eat on. Make sure that you get yourself a big stack of paper plates, and also a big, power pack of plasticware as well. And just a little tip that we do all throughout the year is anytime we've got birthday parties or events and stuff, we save our leftover plates from those types of things, and all our plasticware that's left over from that. We keep like all that kind of stuff as well. Also get yourself, plastic cups, the solo cups, those sorts of things, to make sure that you can just eat your food and throw it away. We keep a special shelf in our pantry at the way top that is out of the way and doesn't need to get accessed a lot, and we hold all of this stuff right there all year long. And now is the time we stock up and make sure that it's there for the whole hurricane season. We check the inventory. Does it need to be added to? What do we need to add? That sort of thing. Remember, cooking and being able to store stuff to cook is at a premium. So having stuff that's got a good shelf life, like peanut butter that doesn't have to be refrigerated, these snack pack type things, these are great. Little individual things that you can just pull out, and they don't have to be in a refrigerator to last for you. Another thing is cans of soup, stuff like that, because remember, with your grill, you can put this on a pot on the grill and actually have a good dinner. One of the very, very, very most important things is you need a good cooler. Remember, you could be without power for quite a while. We went 9 days. So my refrigerator was cool for 3 days. After that, and we didn't open it. Like, we kept it shut unless we absolutely had to have something out of it. Then we opened it real fast. But I think for the first 2 days, we didn't open it at all. Just let everything in there that was in there stay cold. You need to take that stuff that's in your freezer and in your fridge, and you need to get it out. And you need to get it into a cooler. I will tell you that I went through Ian with a igloo cooler. It was not sufficient. We've never been major cooler snobs. We have probably 10 different coolers, all different sizes for different occasions. However, when you need to keep ice and you need to keep food cold for days, it needs to be a high quality one. I would say a Yeti, or in our case, we chose Arctic, which is, if you look at it, it looks just like a Yeti and is supposed to be within just a couple degrees different. That's for your own personal opinions, whatever. You do need one that will hold ice for days. We had to leave the house every single day to go find ice somewhere. And depending on your vehicle and depending on how much damage is done to the road, or how many trees are down and in the road, or how much water's in the road, you may or may not be able to get out, at least initially, for a few days. So having a really good cooler and ice on hand before the storm. Obviously, stock up, fill this whole cooler full of ice before you get to that point, so that you've got it and it's here and it's ready. The cooler and all those are all tips for if you do not have a generator. A lot of people got generators after Ian. A lot of people think about getting generators. If you have one, there are two types. One that is mounted into the house properly, has its own propane tank, all of that. Those you don't really have to worry about. But if you've got a portable generator on wheels, you need to make sure that it's vented properly. You cannot have those fumes coming back into the house, or you'll get carbon monoxide poisoning. So you want to, one, make sure you have enough gas. And have extra gas on hand. Let me tell you, trying to get gas during Ian was insane. Only certain gas stations had gas. Lines were miles long to get there. So being just like the propane for your grill, being prepared with gas for your generator is also something you really want to think about ahead of time. And remember to please make sure that those portable generators are vented properly to keep your family safe. You want to also make sure you've got a connection with your neighbors, and in case they need help or in case you need help. It's a very freaky thing, but in a serious storm, you're going to lose all ability to have any communication. I know my husband and I are going to look for a battery operated transistor radio this year to have on hand so that we can still hear warnings. We got them on our phone for a while, but we lost our phone and all power and everything at noon. Ian started about 7 in the morning. The rain started coming. It got the winds heavy and the rain heavy by noon, and we were out of communication. I got 2 emergency alerts that still came through my phone, and the last one said, if you're still here, you're on your own. 911 is out. And that was really freaky to realize we were 100% on our own. Make sure you've got some connections with some humans near you in case you need it or they need it. In summary, let's just go through the list real quick. Make sure you've got water, plenty of water for enough weeks. Make sure you've got a bucket if you've got a pool so you can flush your toilets. Make sure you've got food that is shelf stable, doesn't need to be refrigerated. Make sure you've got yourself a good cooler. Make sure you've got paper goods so that you can eat your food and just throw it away without having to wash it. Make sure you've filled your bathtubs, especially if you've got pets, so they have plenty of water as well. And make sure you've got your grill operating, that you've got a full propane tank and then one on deck for cooking. And make sure you got plenty of gas for your generator. Hope this helps. I hope none of us need any of that this year. But again, with a strong hurricane season predicted, I know I want to be ready, and I want you to be ready too. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. If I can ever be of service to you, you can always reach me at 301-367-8118.